Okay, welcome to the February 9th, 2022 Townsend Conservation Commission meeting. The time is 7:02 and the meeting is now called to order. Roll call. James Gates.
Present.
Joan Savoy.
Present.
Jim LaQueer.
Present.
Ann LaQueer.
Present.
And Jennifer Eaton is present. The meeting is being video recorded. Is anyone else recording tonight? No? Okay. Chairs, additions, and deletions. I would like to add 3 items. 3.7. Review and discuss, vote to approve comments, send to EEA regarding Campbell Farm CR, 3.7. And I'd like to add 3.8, discuss benefits of shared files for meeting material documents. And I would also like to add in correspondence, discuss email regarding open space plan conservation representative sent by land use coordinator Mike Crowley. Can I get a motion to approve those 3 items?
So be it.
Second.
Okay. All right, Jim LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
Ann LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
Yes.
James Gates, you're in favor. Jennifer Eaton is in favor. So that is unanimous. Okay. 1.4, Chair's Report. I just have 2 announcements. The Board of Selectmen voted to approve a CR for Quantico Meadows. And they also approved the amended CONSCOM fee schedule. 1.5, review and approve the meeting minutes from 1/26/22. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the 1/26/22 meeting minutes?
So moved.
I second.
Okay. Joan Savoy, you in favor?
Yes.
James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Jim LaQueer, are you in favor?
Oh, abstain.
And Ann LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes, I read the minutes. Yes.
And Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Jennifer Eaton is in favor. Okay, agents report, Jess.
All right. So from January 24th to February 4th, we did not have any building permit sign-offs. We had 1 referral returned back to the planning board, and that was for the Campbell Farm planning board decision regarding occupancy permits and their contingency upon the recording of the CR. We had 1 septic sign-off for 222 Main Street. I am continuing to make revisions, just rewording revisions to the wetlands bylaw and wetland regulations. We issued a determination of applicability for 19 Sauna Row Road that was sent out on February 2nd. Still ongoing compilation of maps for conservation owned land. We've mailed out some access request letters, and Matt and I have made 3 site visits to date just on small little side of the road parcels. On January 27th, we sent back the Campbell Farm CR to EEA with comments as we discussed at the 1/26 CONSCOM meeting. We have an intake for the 63 Adams Road NOI. I did a completeness review. The legal ad and the site visit was done on February 2nd. We had a draft application intake for an RDA along Warren Road for some tree cutting along wetlands. That address has actually been updated and is 45 Warren Road. I received 2 complaints from different residents regarding some wetland compliance issues and potential dumping at 1 Warrener Road and 61 Edwards Road. However, I made my visit the Monday after our very large snow, so I could not quite see those, so I will be doing a follow-up. And then Matt primarily, and then I've started to review order of conditions and certificate of compliances that were issued the past 3 years to determine which orders might still be active and outstanding and which might be able to file for certificates of compliance. That's it.
Yeah. 2.0, hearings and appointments. So we have 2.1, notice of intent for TWB 2022-117. There is no DEP file number, so can I get a motion to continue pending DEP file number? For
I'd like to
60
challenge that one for Adams Road.
Adams Road, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think we should delay on that. I believe that should go, and we should approve that pending the arrival of the DEP letter, so that as soon as that comes in, they're good to go.
We cannot close the hearing without a file number though, unfortunately. So we can at least get 99% of the way there, but we would have to continue the hearing till the next meeting.
Okay.
But as long as everyone's reviewed the materials and feels comfortable to have a discussion, we can get that far today. We do have the applicant's agent. I assume, Steve, that's you on the phone here to help answer any questions you may have.
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Great.
Well, I was on the site walk, and Jessica and Matt and James, and it looked, I don't have any concerns whatsoever. And in fact, Steve, I want to thank you for your obvious concern about the environment and putting silt fence and wattles in the project and putting the 35-foot on there, and you're thoughtful, and we appreciate that.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh, we didn't, did you open the hearing?
Do
I didn't know.
we have to continue the hearing with everything we've got? It's already been signed off by the Board of Health, and if we
They
just,
don't have a final DEP number.
they don't
That's it.
have a DEP number, but if that's issued tomorrow or the day after or whatever, if we approve it tonight, as soon as that number comes, they're good to go.
No,
Unfortunately, we have to continue the hearing so that it formally closes upon receipt of that DEP number.
Okay.
So
But we can get as far as we can with discussion, and you guys can, of course, talk about, preparing the order of conditions, but we cannot close the hearing. So that would need to
Well,
get
yeah.
the 23rd.
Number.
Steve, if that DEP number comes in, we'll just hold this very short emergency meeting. If we can do, the chair can get an agenda on, without the usual time period, and we can just get it approved as soon as we get that, assuming we're available, but we should be.
Good.
That'd be good. Yeah, I'll keep my eyes open on my computer tomorrow too and see if it comes in.
I did speak with Kim Roth. She's going to be the one who gets assigned this sort of as the case reviewer, but she said there are several NOIs in front of ours and they have to review them in the order in which they were received. So I think it might be a few more days, but Steve and I will both receive the email once a number is generated.
Right. Would the commission like me just to, for the members that didn't go on the sidewalk, I can just quickly give them a quick brief overhaul on what the site looks like?
Yes, just a moment. I just want to say the
We have seen the plans.
TWB 2022-117. The applicant is Catherine Thompson. The location is 63 Adams Road.
Joan, do you need to read the?
Oh, the legal notice.
The project,
I don't think I have it.
the applicant would like to replace a failing sewage system and related grading within a 100-foot buffer of vegetated wetlands and intermittent streams.
So you're opening.
The hearing is now open under the Wetlands Protection Act and the Townsend Wetland Bylaw. And the materials.
The legal notice is here?
I believe so, they're in that file.
So, okay, well, do I have to read them? I probably have to read the notice first, right?
I may not have printed one for that file, but I did
Yeah.
confirm that it was published on the Groton Herald.
Right, but
last
I
Friday,
have
so we do have our 5 days notice.
I have to read it. Could either of you screen share it? I'll just read it off the screen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, who would like to screen share?
Do you have the finalized one, Jessica? I have the draft, but I think if you edited it.
Yeah,
after-
I have it open, so I can
Okay.
screen share.
Okay, give
Thank
me a
you.
moment here. Okay, Jessica, go ahead.
All right. Oh my gosh, where is it? There it is. All right, should be viewable.
You rock. Okay, so the hearing has been officially opened, and as clerk, I'm reading the legal notice. Pursuant to the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Townsend Wetlands Bylaw, the Townsend Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, February 9th, 2022 at approximately 7:10 p.m. The hearing will be held virtually via Zoom meeting and in person at Town Hall on a notice of intent filed with the Conservation Commission by Catherine Thompson. The property is located at 63 Adams Road, Assessors Map 36, Parcel 13. The applicant wishes to replace a failing sewage system and associated grading within a 100-foot buffer of a bordering vegetated wetland and intermittent streams. Signed, Jessica Consalvo, Agent, Townsend Conservation Commission. And CC to the applicant.
One of those NOLs.
All right. If you guys would like, here, let me open the plan. Steve, just so you can start talking, I have your plan open on my screen for the members to see.
Okay. Okay, great.
Irv,
Again,
but I have a set of the plans with me.
Yeah, we have a set of plans.
Okay, great. Yeah, so if
Great.
you have a hard copy in front of you too, that's fine.
We do.
Okay, so it's an existing single-family home. And again, as Jessica read to you, it's got a failing septic system and septic tank. And actually, the existing system right now is probably within 25 to 30 feet of the bordering vegetated wetlands right down in front of the house. You can see where it's labeled existing leach area. So what we've done is I tried to scope out the best place to put this so we maximize our offsets from the two intermittent streams that run on either side of the slope headed down towards the street, and keep the system away from the wetlands. And like you said, try to maximize the 35-foot no-touch zone. So we've designed it with a septic tank and a pump chamber and a force main that sends the effluent up to behind the house and behind the garage in a knoll area where we've maximized the offset from any of the wetlands with all of our work. Unfortunately, there's nowhere else to go on the lot because there's just so many little rivulets coming down from in the spring and everything that's running all over the place. So, but the good thing is we're not removing any vegetation. The entire project, the tanks, the force main line, and the leach field, and the grading is all on open lawn. So there will be no removal of any trees whatsoever. And again, like you pointed out, the Board of Health did issue the permit on January 24th. And that's about all I can tell you right now. I'll answer any questions, obviously, if you have any.
I'm seeing the list of abutters, but no notification.
Oh, good point.
I
I
have those
emailed- yeah,
receipts.
Okay, Jessica has them, yep.
Yep,
Okay.
we've received those. I'll show
Counted
those.
them?
I'm supposed to check those.
That was the wrong one, sorry.
Oh,
Excuse me, this is Hartley again.
Hi, Har-
Would anyone else like to do screen sharing?
I might have to at some point.
Okay, Matt, that's you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you that authority. Just, you know.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So Matt and Jessica, you two have the screen share authority. Again, if anyone else would like the screen share, just let me know.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I have, if you can still see my screen, I have the mail receipts up.
Oh, all right.
No, but we're
One.
not seeing them, Jessica.
You're not?
We're seeing the legal notice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
how do I
seeing it as
switch
well.
my screen? Sorry.
List.
Oh man, how do I? Uh-oh. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to
That's okay.
how to switch.
Take your time.
You didn't make the cut, Joan. Sorry.
No, I didn't.
Who can share? Okay, that doesn't help. What happens if I X out of the legal notice? Oh,
Oh.
okay. Well, let me reshare then.
You can start all over.
All right. Turn off and power back on.
There we
All
go.
right.
There you go.
Can
Okay.
everyone see them now?
Yep.
James,
Great.
could you read to me? I've got, so I see Swanson.
Clark.
Swanson, Clark, Barry, and Kennelly.
Thompson.
Thompson,
Yep.
Res-
Caboni.
Razzaboni,
And Peralt.
Wilkinson.
Nicole, Amy, trustees, Wilkinson, Douglas, and Kilborn, James D. and Donna. Right?
Kilborn. Yep, and then DEP.
All right.
Yep.
Great. It's all in order.
Everything is in order. Thank you.
Perfect.
Matches the abutters list from the assessor's office.
Okay,
Thank
here we
you.
go. So here's the plan again. Can you guys see the plan? I was wondering, maybe you didn't even see it last time, sorry. So yeah, Steve's still on if anyone has any further questions.
Well, we gotta remember this is a pre-existing condition, and we have to do the best we can to give them a new system that's gonna come into compliance. And once again, Board of Health has viewed this, and we have all agreed and passed this, so it's good to go. So right now, it's just a matter of giving them the green light.
Yep.
Yep.
We are hung up on a technicality.
No, none of us have a problem with it, James. It's the, we can't close the hearing without a DEP number.
Right. Well, maybe like you had stated, we can have a quick emergency meeting as soon as that DEP number comes in.
That would be the right thing to do.
Okay.
15 minutes and we'll be in and out.
It's, hopefully it'll be made available through Zoom.
Yes,
Good.
we can,
Yeah, we can do a quick Zoom.
a quick Zoom. So,
Yep.
yeah, because we always post the Zooms links on the meetings, well, until they, in April of 2022, the state will decide if Zoom's still going to be illegal as far as having people in the room, but we're not going to worry about that
No,
right
we're in
now.
the zone.
Okay, we're cool.
Okay.
So I think we have to vote. Do we need a motion for continuation?
We do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pending
Motion to
the-
continue.
Okay.
I guess before you continue, does anyone have any additional questions? This is a two-part question. Any additional questions for Steve while he's here? And then do you want him to be present for that second meeting whenever we have it?
I think you should be present for the second meeting.
I don't have any questions. It's a straightforward system.
I don't have any questions either. It looks good.
I don't have any.
No. No questions here.
Steve, do you have any questions for us?
Nope. I appreciate Jessica helping me out with the phone numbers and the Zoom stuff. And when we do know when the next one is, if you can let me know right away, then I'll be glad to Zoom in on it.
Yes, that way you get your answer immediately.
Well,
I
well,
just wanna-
Steve, our
Yes?
next regularly scheduled meeting is the 4th Wednesday in February, but if it comes in, and if it comes in like that day, we'll cover it that night, but if it comes in before then, we'll try to get an emergency meeting together for you.
We're
Okay.
set to meet February 23rd.
All right,
Okay.
23rd of February, unless it comes in sooner and we can set up a quick Zoom to close it out. That'd be great.
That's correct.
Yep.
Great.
I
Steve,
want to
the-
thank,
Oh.
thank the commission and Jessica for everything. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your
Our
time.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I motion to continue the hearing for 63 Adams Road to the next meeting or sooner if we receive the DEP numbers.
Okay,
I
motion
second.
to continue pending DEP or
Second.
sooner.
Seconded.
Great. So James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
Yes.
Jim LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes,
Ann LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Jennifer Eaton is in favor. So that is unanimous to continue that until they get the DEP file number, if not to our February 23rd, 2022 meeting.
Madam Chair, can I ask Jessica a question?
Of course.
Hey, Jessica, is DEP indicating that they still have a big backlog, or are things clearing up?
She just said backlog. I think they're using vague wording on purpose.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
All right, Steve, thanks very much for joining and we'll be in touch. So you're
Thank
free
you,
to hop off.
Steve.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Steve.
Bye, Steve. Okay,
Bye-bye.
work session. 3.1, NRWA Riparian Buffer Project Proposal. And Joan, you've been working with
Yes.
Joan W. on this.
So, the Natural River Watershed Association will earmark 2 projects this year to repair the riparian buffer zones. And they are aware that we are concerned about the Adams Dam invasives there and the zone, the buffer zone, but they are looking for big areas, and that doesn't meet their criteria. So, so they know we are interested in the, and you have to forgive me, I did not get out there to nail it quite down, but it's out in West Townsend by, part of the land is, if you look up the hill, it's the solar, Mr. Craven's solar farm, and it's all along there, and it's a long swath, which is what they're looking for. It's like 1,000 feet or so. Yes, the fields, the cornfields, yes. So we are on the radar. The really good news, woohoo, is we do not have to, even though it said there was a grant proposal due, we don't have to do that. We're definitely on the radar. Next week, I promise I will just jot up, I will make my drive out there, or, wait, what's today, please?
Today's the 9th.
The 9th is Wednesday. Jessica, if you, well, you guys know you don't do trips on, don't worry about it. I'll get out there next week, and we're definitely on, I've been speaking with Al Futterman. We're definitely on the radar, so I'll get out there next week. I'll write the 2 sentences, I'll get it to Al, but he didn't say there was a hurry, so I've spoken to him a couple of times, and Joan W. has been real helpful too. So we're good. It looks good, I think.
Great. Okay. 3.2, mandatory referral notice from ZBA regarding 241 Maine. This is the referral for zoning for ZBA. The applicants are proposing to convert a building into mixed use by adding 4 2-bedroom apartments and 2 1-bedroom apartments to the 2nd and 3rd floor of the pre-existing non-conforming commercial structure at 241 Maine, map 51, block 94, lot 0. Jessica, is it my understanding that this is non-jurisdictional?
Yes, that's correct. From what I can remember, the measurements that I did on Mass Mapper, so desktop only, but the measurements that I did showed that any wetlands or streams were at least 700 or 750 feet away from this property.
Okay.
So far outside of our jurisdiction for wetlands and streams.
Does anyone have any comments?
I do. It's a plus to build, we're trying to build housing in our commercial zone. So there we go.
I can screen share the application if people want, by the way.
Do you need it?
I've
Anyone
seen it,
Okay,
seen it. Thank you. Thanks, Matt. Unless you want it, James.
just let me know.
Jim LaQueer, have you seen the application? Do you have any questions?
I have not seen that application, and before, obviously, I wouldn't have any questions at this point.
Okay,
Same here.
same, okay.
So I found a discrepancy, which doesn't pertain to us, but
You can still comment on it.
the property is situated on 0.55 acres. And they say that's 43,560 square feet, or for 43,560 square feet. 1 acre is 43,500.
Yeah.
Oh, that's, so it's maybe a
I
typo.
know it's just probably a typo, but
So what is it, 0.55?
yeah, and it's just a stupid thing, but.
What's 0.55? Oh,
Probably, 20.
math is not my thing. I'm more of a speller.
22,500, 23,000, it's not much. I don't have any
Okay.
comments. Like Joan said, it's gonna better the town.
23,958 square feet.
Yeah, I said 23,500.
You're good.
Okay, so
Should we,
Wanna
should
make a
we just make that comment? No? All right, well, they'll figure it out.
Like, it's fixed. We need this for the town.
Yes, we do.
yeah, I just
That's
find,
great. Housing down in the commercial where people can walk around, that's exactly what we want.
okay, so can I get a motion to return the referral with the comment being non-jurisdictional? And according to us,
So be it.
So moved.
But yeah, I have that one.
and can I get a second?
I second. Sorry, Ann.
Savoy, are you in favor?
Yes,
Jim LaQueer, are you in favor?
I'm going to abstain on this one also.
Okay, Ann LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Joan Savoy,
yes.
you're in favor. Jennifer Eaton is in favor, so that is 4 yeses and 1 abstain. Okay, the next one we have is 3.3, mandatory referral notice from ZBA regarding 478 Main Street. And we had sent comments on this previously. It's for a special permit to operate a commercial kennel in the residence.
So it's being changed from the dog grooming to the kennel.
I think
Right.
for,
Yeah, because
special
we don't
permit.
have a dog grooming.
right, so under a technicality.
Right. So it's non-jurisdictional,
Yes.
correct, Madam Jessica? Yeah,
Sorry. Correct.
thank you.
Yeah, I think the closest wetlands and all the Squanicook stuff is 300 or 400 feet away.
And we wish them the best of luck.
Absolutely. Okay, so we will also, we'll need a motion to send this referral notice back with comments as being non-jurisdictional as well. So can I get a motion?
So be it.
Second,
Second, okay,
Second.
Joan. Third. Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
yes,
Okay, James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Ann LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Jim LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
Okay, and Jennifer Eaton is in favor, so that's unanimous. Okay, okay, so 3.4 MACC classes invoice approval.
wow, we're on fire with these classes. So I have several invoices for us to vote. The first one is for MACC classes for our wonderful administrator, Matt Matos, and for me. And the total is $165, and the warrant was signed on 2/8/22. We just need a motion. to
Okay,
approve.
so we can get a motion to approve the invoice.
Motion to approve the invoice for the MACC classes.
I second it.
Okay. Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
Yes.
James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Ann LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
Jim LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Jennifer Eaton is in favor. So we are unanimous.
And the next warrant was submitted on 2/4/2022, and it's for more MACC classes for our wonderful agent, Jessica Consalvo, and our still wonderful Matt Matos. The total is $440.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve invoice for
I
$440.
second it.
Okay. All right, Jim LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
Ann LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
Yes.
James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Jennifer Eaton, yes, in favor.
Okay, then wait a minute. This was done. Okay, then there is one, we found there is an outstanding invoice from August of 2021 that was perhaps never submitted, and it was definitely not paid. So I am asking that an invoice of $55 for MACC class for Jen Eaton that you already took be voted approved. Dated, her class was 8/17, the invoice date is 8/17/21.
So be it.
Motion to approve invoice for 8/17/2021. Can I get a
So be-
second?
Second.
Okay. Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
Yes.
Ann LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
Jim LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
James Gates, are you in
Yes.
favor? Okay. Jennifer Eaton, yes, in favor. That's unanimous. And are we good? Or we have one more?
That's it for MACC, and now we move on. The next item is the clothing, right?
Okay, so 3.5, agent and admin clothing receipts approval.
Okay, so what is so cool is that our clothing allowance, the CONSCOM clothing allowance is being used by Matt and Jessica to buy lovely things like boots and zipper and reflective tapes and a high visibility safety vest. We are cooking. And
Nice.
yeah, so these were dated 2/2/22, and the total is $132. And there's one for $132.21, and there's another for $139.99.
Okay.
When did we start paying for clothing on conservation?
There's a $600 annual clothing allowance for conservation.
These are barking puppies.
Okay.
We never had a clothing.
I've never heard of a clothing allowance on conservation.
It's been there. It's been there in the budget for years.
Why haven't I heard it before?
You'd have to ask the former chairs.
I don't buy that excuse. I want to know a real fact.
Well,
I
then
want-
Jim,
I'd
what I
like
suggest is you
Something in
call the-
writing that
the
says that
accountant.
we have a clothing allowance.
Look at the old budgets.
Yep.
Review
There
the
you go.
previous budgets.
You can review the previous budgets, or you could call the town accountant. I'm sure they could tell you about that.
And that's all I'm going to get for cooperation.
Thank you. Let's keep going.
We don't know, Jim, what happened in the past. It might have just not been discussed.
It might not have been taken advantage of, but it's in the budget. It's already written in, so they might as well use it.
So we need a motion.
Motion to approve,
The two clothing invoices.
I motion to approve the invoices.
Second?
Okay, so Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
Yes.
James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Ann LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yeah,
And Jim LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes,
Okay, so that is unanimous. All right, so 3.6, review active and recently expired orders of conditions and discuss plan to contact applicants. Jessica, you and Matt have been reviewing back 3 years, orders of conditions that have not been completed.
Well, Matt has. I can't
Do we
take
have
credit.
a
yet,
ballpark?
but-
Do we know how many?
So, Matt has only gone through the last 3 years worth of meeting minutes from 2019 to the past couple months. So he made a list of all of the orders of conditions issued by Conscom, and then he made a second list of all of the certificates of compliance associated with any of those orders. So currently, just in the last 3 years, we have about 20 probably active orders of conditions out there right now. There are, I think, 3 that have expired, but we don't have any record of getting certificate of compliance issued. We have maybe 6 or 7 that will be expiring in 2022, and then the rest of them still have another year or 2 to go. But again, this is all just from records from the past 3 years. So given what we found so far, I'm sure there are in the double digits worth of orders of conditions out there in the last 10 or 20 years that never filed for COCs. So it's part of just conservation initiatives to know what permits are out there that none of us probably really know about, making sure we're trying to do some compliance work as well. And then
Matt
yeah.
Sorry, Jessica. Matt, has the list of applicants that still have open order of conditions, has that been uploaded to the Excel spreadsheet?
It hasn't yet, but I can do that first thing Friday.
All of them, and then you should have a column that says open, closed,
Open
whatever.
or closed, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And is
No
there a
problem.
spreadsheet?
Well, Matt has been compiling a spreadsheet of every single thing, every single permit request that comes in and the status and all that. So, but this would be a separate spreadsheet of all, I'm sure you guys have been keeping a record anyway. So, we, at some point we'd love to see that list.
Yeah, I have a list of open ones right now that I put together.
But you can open, close, any of them, just then you have all the data.
Right.
It's a pain in the butt having to do it. I know, and I appreciate what you're doing now.
Of course.
Yes.
Good job.
absolutely, Matt. Good job.
Okay,
I mean, it's
Yeah,
accountability.
it's just a
so-
start.
yeah, a huge leap in organization. Okay, 3.7, Campbell Farm. We've just received the latest version of the CR back with comments, which Jessica has addressed. Has everybody reviewed the latest version and the edits that Jessica made per EEA's comments?
Yes, and Mr. Anderson's comments as well. And Jessica, thanks for your work on this again. I appreciate Mr. Anderson's attention to detail also. And I'm fine with how it is.
Okay.
I have not. I didn't know if Jessica could screen share it. So we could just.
Yeah. Jessica, could you possibly screen, we have a copy here, but it would probably, it's black and white. It would probably be easier if we could see it with the highlighted comments. I
Working on
appreciate
getting the
you
color
highlighting
printer.
them.
Don't worry. You guys all just need to get your eyes checked.
Yeah,
That too.
that is a correct assumption.
All right. So, can you guys read this?
Yes.
See it? Can you see it? I guess most importantly. So, yeah, I just went through and highlighted, so it's easy for everyone's review. Highlighted in green, the latest comments from, from EEA in response to Conscom's comments from their 126 meeting. So here we had requested clarification on what de minimis commercial recreation might mean. So in green is the response. So just very limited to no impact on conservation values on the property. So hiking, a scavenger hunt, Halloween event, corn maze, but not an Ironman event.
Oh, Ironman event. Okay.
So this was just EEA's response to our question. So no, unless anyone else has any questions or additions to add into the normal language, no further action is required
That's, you can see.
on this section. We okay to move on?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Is there anything, Jessica, throughout this whole document that you saw that, you know, struck you as important that we need to go over, or?
They,
Page 8, yeah.
let me find it. Yeah, so as EEA suggested last time that you did vote to replace was the newest agricultural language from the newest CR model, since the CR did not have it. So he did replace this entire section with the newest model language. So nothing concerning there. I think it just sort of helped fill in some of the gaps from different back and forths that we had with EEA. They did approve and add in, as you can see here, vegetation management will follow natural heritage's BMPs. So that's good. So they did add that in for us. And there was one more right here. Yeah, so this is one that we did need to get your response on. Was material about site restoration and planning was deleted, and I think it should be deleted in some previous version by someone, I'm not sure. And EEA thinks that the language should be restored. So this right here in blue. Please advise if this is a problem.
No problem. No problem, Jess.
Cool. And then I think that was it. Look for the green. No, that was it. Yep. So I will let the applicant, Dana Roberts, know that there are no additional comments from Conservation Commission. I will email EEA back saying that we accept the replacement of this restoration sentence back into the document. And then from there, EEA will, finalize the document, which I assume means not all of these track changes will be everywhere. And then they can okay it for local signatures. So hopefully in the next week or two or so, we'll be able to start that process. And I did contact Tom Anderson about how many wet signatures this document will need. So EEA does not care about wet signatures, but he believes that when this document gets recorded at the Registry of Deeds, they will need the wet signatures. but he did say as long as we have a majority of the commission's signatures on here notarized, then that will be acceptable.
Thank you.
Thanks for your work on this.
Oh, you guys did all the heavy lifting.
And Mr. Anderson as well.
We should vote to approve. the
Okay,
2-3
so can I get a
2-3 version?
Can I get a motion to approve the newest 2.3 version with the edits that Jessica made to be sent back to EEA for final approval?
I vote we approve the 2/3/22 version of the Campo Farm CR as submitted by Mr. Tom Anderson of EEA.
Second,
Voting on that one.
James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
Yes.
Jim LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
Ann LaQueer, are you in favor?
yes,
And Jennifer Eaton, yes, in favor. So unanimous on that. We'll get that back to them and hopefully they'll send it back ready for signatures and we can put that baby to bed. All right. 3.8, discuss benefits of shared files for meeting material documents. And this was a suggestion from James, which I think is an excellent idea. Can we make that happen?
Yeah, definitely.
instead
That's
of-
easier than
instead
us
of-
sending you guys 1,000 emails.
Yeah, instead of getting emails with attachments, we just have one Dropbox that we can go to
Yeah.
for,
Dropbox,
So-
Google Drive,
Yeah.
SharePoint.
yes,
not
a platform
Right.
that, yeah.
So I believe the town has
I-
access to SharePoint, which I think is a Microsoft system. And I think you need a Microsoft account. I mean, it's kind of like Google, you could probably just make one. Otherwise, we can do, if everyone has Gmails or access to a Gmail, we could do a Google Drive.
Yeah.
I'm probably not the best person to be suggesting these. Matt,
Well,
you're
have a-
young and tech savvy, like we found out today. Do you have any?
What do you think, Tech Wizard?
Did you change the phone
Jeez,
settings
if
on
I'm
my
the tech
phone?
wizard, we're in trouble. I think I would just do it with a Google Drive myself. Yeah,
Okay.
if it was up to me. But
Have data issues that we need to make sure that we don't, privacy issues.
No, it'll be a closed, it's
Yeah,
closed,
no, that's
closed viewing.
good.
Our eyes only, yeah.
That's
yeah, it can be
good.
so it's only shared with people who you send invites over Gmail. So
Okay.
Yeah, I vote for.
it's not open to the public.
You
Well,
have to have a
Google Docs.
Gmail account for it. Does everybody on the
No.
board? You don't have to have a
No,
Gmail
I
account.
shared something with Veronica that was a file and I was able to send her a link.
You just have to get into Google.
Okay,
Yeah, Google's easy. You can,
okay, so Jim and Ann, you don't have to have a Gmail email account to receive that.
okay.
You just have to have access to Google, it seems.
Which is easy. You just need a computer effectively.
Yeah, so that should not really change anything.
Well, while we're here, we're running on an iPad, so.
Oh, yeah, iPad will work, definitely. Okay, good.
Will Matt, Matt will, I won't, I'll mess it up. I'll have Matt on Friday do like a test run and then maybe he
Okay.
can share it with us and just send in like a picture of my kid or something to upload. And then if you guys can all open it and see that the file share worked,
but if we
then we
if
can.
we get the
use that
files
with you.
and we have like a folder for each meeting and then you can upload all the stuff that we need and start
Yep.
that.
Yeah, that's a
way.
great idea.
Collaborate as we get.
No, that's a great idea, James, because like I spent so, every time I go back through like 2 weeks
Yeah.
of emails and.
I know, it's such a
Perfect.
headache.
Good idea.
Here's an example. Actually requires you-
Yeah, it saves all of us time.
your,
On what type of heading would we find this information?
I
the
think,
head-
Google isn't gonna get us there.
right,
No,
so we'll
Get an
send,
email.
It comes through
Matt will send you
email.
directions.
Okay,
Matt will send out a link that's only viewable to the 7 of us total. And then in there, we'll sort of organize subfolders. So we'll organize by each meeting date, I guess. And then within, then you can click on that meeting date folder And then within that folder, we'll do our best to organize by agenda item and project title. So like tonight would be 2.1, 63 Adams Road NOI. So it's all clear and everything can go in that file. But again, we'll do a test run before the next meeting to
Okay,
make sure
great.
that it's easy
Okay.
to
No problem.
navigate.
If
And
Matt
we will
could-
be open to suggestions too, because you guys are the ones accessing and reviewing this.
Go ahead, now you can talk.
if Matt could even do screenshots of where to go, if you don't have a Google account, so that Jim and Ann, because you don't have Google, right?
I do have Google. I have another email that I use
Well, just to
professionally.
help Jim and Ann move this along, and then it will, if you do that, Matt, if other people come onto the board and they don't have Gmail, you can hand them those directions. It's just a standard operating procedure.
Okay,
that would
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And remember, we're eight members. We have a liaison and Veronica Kell.
All right.
And make
thank
it-
you.
Make it for people that that aren't tech savvy, is all I can say.
Right.
Yeah, we can start
Can
off
do.
with baby steps, okay, Matt? We're gonna start off
Thank
with
you,
the
Matt.
baby steps.
We'll take the picture of
and-
Ethan to start.
Okay.
We have one more after that.
No, it's in correspondence anyways. 4.0.
Oh, we got it.
I'm good. 4.0 correspondence. I added in, discuss the email sent by our land use coordinator, Mike Crowley, of the open space and recreational plan. Mike is on, actually. Great. Hi, did you want to tell us a little bit about open space recreation plan?
Sure. I can just do that really quick. We are beginning the process of writing our new open space and recreation plan for the town. We wrote a really fantastic version of it back in 2012, 2013, and they did a great job, but they have a 7-year shelf life. And so ours is expired by 2 years at this point. And that one of the things that happens if you don't have an open space plan that's up to date is there's a lot of funding sources you can't have access to. It's something that we want to sit down and have a good conversation about, but because there was such a great job that was done previously, and there is currently a master plan that is getting finalized by the town that's going to have a lot of great resources in it as well. A lot of the heavy lifting is already kind of done on this one. So it's really a great opportunity to sit down and have a conversation about what we actually want to have happen in the next 7 years in terms of open space. So the Open Space Committee is looking for people to serve as the committee head from each department within the town, and recreation is usually one of them that sends someone over. And then additionally, we're looking for anyone who is a town resident who wants to be involved in any of the subcommittees, and one of which is recreation. There's also one for natural resources and conservation. There's a whole manner of things that I can talk more about. But right now we're just I wanted to throw it out there. I'm looking to see who the conservation would like to appoint to represent them. It doesn't need to be an actual member of the committee. That's one of the things they kind of did because this is a short-term project. You don't actually have to sign up for 2 committees. You just have to be a representative. So it can be someone you designate who is a town resident. It doesn't have to be one of the committee members themselves, although they're certainly welcome to. And then if there is anyone that I would encourage you to share this opportunity with folks who want to get involved in the future use for the town, whatever that ends up being. It's a great time to have that kind of, to make, a little bit of work to shape the vision for the next couple of years.
I just have a question, Mike. So does this mean that Conscom could pick a resident to represent us, or it has to be somebody like the agent, the admin, the members?
No, in fact, it probably shouldn't be Jess or Matt because they're not residents themselves. It's
Okay.
usually better for you to pick a resident. If you wanted, certainly any one of the board members is certainly welcome.
We have
but-
to have their approval.
Yes. So that is the one thing. We found out that Veronica at some point apparently was I guess a joke, I don't know, was appointed as the Conscom agent, and she's already serving as the an agent on the committee at large because she's attached to the Board of Selectmen. She wanted to be an at-large member. And so there's a piece of paper that says that she is the CONSCOM agent and this other agent. So we're like, this can't work, unfortunately. So we have to find somebody else.
Okay.
Our timeline is we're trying to have a kickoff event in March. The committee itself, the master committee would meet probably once a month between March and December. Although, not everyone has to be in attendance at every meeting, but it's obviously you should try to be there. And then the subcommittees are a much smaller commitment. Those are kind of, you tie in with a specific purpose. So if you have something where you are interested in a specific issue that you're really passionate about, and you want to make sure that that's stewarded and made plans for, you can be involved in that.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. And what's exactly the commitment for the representative? Do you have monthly meetings?
Yes.
The format is getting figured out, but it sounds like it would probably be a monthly meeting. There is no picked time. So at current, the Open Space Committee, which usually has 9 people as those key representatives that oversee the whole thing, we only have 2 people at the moment. It's Veronica and a representative from planning. We have had people step forward saying they want to be involved in the subcommittees. We've had some people step forward and saying they want to be involved from other representatives. So we've had someone from the water department step forward and say they want to be the representative for the water commission. But in terms of commitment, it's probably going to be once a month, and we're trying to get this done by December. Technically, we have until June to finish it, but I don't think anyone wants to work on it that long and make that long a commitment.
Oh.
And since we're at that point where we can get it done without having to, and focus on the good stuff, we don't have to go through and like build archives of all land in town. We've already got me doing that, so we're in good shape.
Thanks, Mike. All right, so commission, try to think of somebody that owes you a favor in town and see if they want to join as our representative for open space recreation plan. Thanks, Mike. We'll be in touch. We'll find somebody real good. Okay, so 5.1 Earth Day celebration discussion.
That's me.
What do you got so far, Joan?
Well, what I have is, we are the Conservation Commission, and I understand that in days of yore, there was a Conservation Commission presence at Earth Day, which is a wonderful event on the green in town. All kinds of people come out. And Karen Clement, who's also a tremendous volunteer in our town, does a great job of spearheading that event. Last year, I partook, and I had 2 things. I had a little kind of a guessing game board about town water. That was a lot of fun. And I also had I also advertised for volunteers for town boards. I said, if you're stressed and overworked and feel wigged out and you want to feel more so, volunteer for any town board. And people got a kick out of that. I don't know if we got any volunteers from it.
It didn't, that bait did not work on that hook.
But anyway, so I think we should, I did ask Karen to add us all to her mailing list for Earth Day. And basically, it's a nominal fee, but we can set up a table, and then we can, you know what? We've already talked about it. We've got invasives. We can have invasive literature to hand out. Jessica, your stormwater, some of your stormwater documents.
That's our shtick.
Yeah, we'll figure out something fun, for kids.
We need a cotton candy
Like
machine.
how many goldfish are in the bowl or something, you know what I mean? And at least I think the Conservation Commission should start having a presence. So that's my idea. And I'll be there.
Okay, great. And I vote cotton candy machine.
We could get a dunk tank.
Dunk tank.
Dunk tank, whoa, very nice. That would be fun.
Dunk tank would be really
That'd
good.
be awesome. Are you gonna be the person on the seat?
No, I'll pay for the dunk tank. You get it.
Okay. 5.2, upcoming MACC Conference of Fundamentals, and discuss potential meeting time change for 3/9 meeting. I'm assuming, Matt, there's a conflict with which class?
Was it 208, Jessica? Is that that
Yeah, it
time?
was one of the 200s. I'm signed up
Yeah.
for it, but
The
we don't
Buffers
need to
Line one?
reschedule just for me, but you can.
Jessica, if you're comfortable with giving us your, written word.
Yep, I can read your agent's report if you want.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we'll keep the time as scheduled.
We're all going to be certified after this round, pretty
Yeah.
much, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of us, great.
Okay, items for discussion at next meeting. If we don't hear anything back for by the time our next meeting, February 23rd, will be 63 Adams Road. Adams Road. Discuss it next meeting.
And that one at 7:30.
Yes, the next meeting is at 7:30. Just a heads up, that announcement is coming.
Madam Chair, I'll read at that meeting the Riparian Buffer Zone project, the verbiage I give
Oh,
to
good.
the
Riparian Buffer.
National River Watershed Association.
Okay, and possible announcement of representative. Okay. 7.0, the next meeting is Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022, 7:30 PM, BOS Chambers, second floor. This meeting will also be held virtual Zoom remote in accordance with COVID-19 safe meeting guidelines. Does anyone want to discuss moving back to Zoom remote only?
Is the town requiring us to do it?
No.
No, the COVID rate is down to below 15%. From the high of over 18%.
All right, so as long as that uptick keeps going, I think we'll just continue meeting in person.
So much better.
Sorry for the confusion that I caused this morning. I should have just waited also. I was told that a 7:30 PM start time on Wednesday, February 23rd should be changed because of another ZBA scheduling conflict. They have several hearings scheduled for that same night and just scheduled one for 6:45 PM that they anticipate going on longer than 45 minutes, therefore further conflicting with our conscom start time.
So the other option was 4 PM, is that correct?
Right, and I think we had a few conflicts last time we discussed this, but open for discussion again, or if needed, we could potentially push if people are open to a Thursday meeting instead, the 24th.
My conflict was that I didn't know my schedule, but as of now, 4 o'clock would work for me.
4 o'clock works for me. I can change my appointment.
Uh,
But Jessica, I have one thing to ask. You know
Yeah.
how, since I live with the chair of the ZBA, I could ask him too, but why maybe ZBA could move up their,
You're gonna have to bring that question home. I
I'll
don't
bring
know.
that home.
what did you think?
I think they've already, because for ZBA, I think there's more legal ad notification requirements. And ours is
Oh,
5
I
days
hear
we work
that.
out.
So they can't
everybody.
change it.
They can't
Right.
bump everybody.
Yeah.
So I think they're on to like at least 2, potentially now 3 hearings
Yeah.
for that
All
night.
right, thanks, Jessica.
Thanks for that good point.
All right,
Madam-
so-
4 o'clock.
Madam Chair, if I might interrupt,
yes, Dave.
from TCAM on our calendar at 4 PM that day, there is a capital planning meeting. So even if the ZBA or yourself could adjust, you're not going to be able to move it back into the 4 o'clock range.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, so now,
All right, there goes that.
That whole night.
Thursday, the 24th. I did propose originally Tuesday, the 22nd, but it's President's Day, right, the day right before that, and town employees have that off, so there'd be kind of a lot of scramble on Matt and my part, so I would at least recommend that you consider that.
5-day public notice too, if we had it, because we need a legal notice for
And
the
yes, and we actually would
RDA.
have one RDA, and then we'll maybe have a continued public hearing, and then we have
Right.
a new
Right.
NOI as well. So the 5-day legal ad notifications for those would get pretty complicated for a Tuesday meeting instead of a Wednesday meeting.
24th, you're proposing the 24th?
I propose Thursday, February 24th.
Dave,
4
what
p.m.,
time
7
do you
p.m.,
have?
whatever you guys want.
Yeah, does anyone know if there's any meetings scheduled for that Thursday?
Yeah, let me.
Didn't see any on the
well,
calendar, but
Be on
I
the
can
calendar,
answer
yeah.
that also for you. That day is completely wide open, so if you grab it now,
all right. Awesome.
Okay.
All day. We'll make
Perfect.
a full day meeting.
Yeah.
send an email notice to
years worth of meetings.
tcam@townsandtm.org and book it as quickly as you can.
Right.
Will do.
Thanks.
I'll try to do that first thing Friday. Thank you, Dave.
Do you want to do our regular time at 7 p.m.
Um,
or earlier?
Is that convenient for everybody to do at 7 p.m. or should we do it earlier? Does anybody have any constrictions for a Thursday?
Where you at with that?
Thursday, February 24th.
7.
Yeah, with the
Okay.
7. 4.
Okay, so we'll stick with the 7. Okay,
We will have several hearings and discussions, so it's probably better to do it after business hours. So
Okay.
everyone's availability is better. Okay.
We have to vote on that, do we?
no. No votes. Okay. So the next meeting will be held Thursday, February 24th at 7 p.m. in the Selectmen's Chambers. Okay.
We need to can somebody, well, we have to be touching bases with Mr. Steve anyway, but we told him the 23rd.
Yep, I will.
Thank you.
Yes, just let them know that we've changed the day. Okay. Vote to adjourn at 8:09 p.m.
So be it.
Can I get
Seconded.
a second? Okay. Joan Savor, are you in favor of adjournment? James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Jim LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
Ann LaQueer, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Jennifer Eaton is in favor. So we adjourn at 8:09 p.m.